Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Friday, May 31st, 2024. So, on a day that, apart from a spoonerism, would be an unlucky Friday, did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And were you lucky when you did it?
I was pretty lucky.
Good.
I got it done.
Okay.
I always feel good when I get them done on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday, of course, too.
Right.
But yeah, I got through this one with no help.
Well, good. Excellent. Well done. This crossword was by Aidan Deshong, who is apparently like 18 years old or thereabouts.
Wow.
And about to head off to Harvey Mudd University. So, or at least I think it's a university.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's Harvey Mudd College, Harvey Mudd Tech School.
I have no idea.
It's Harvey Mudd, in any event, some educational institution of renown.
Mm-hmm.
And is apparently he had a little trouble solving or getting a solution to the bottom left corner.
Oh.
But Christina Iverson, who contributes many crosswords and in fact is on the staff of the New York Times, helped out.
Oh, well, very good.
So, but however you look at it, it's a great crossword.
It did have kind of an unusual word down there. 59 across. Sisters are a part of it. Nunhood.
Yes. I immediately went for nunnery.
Me too.
Because that's the only word I've ever heard of. I've never heard of a nunhood.
Right. Well, I mean, there's, manhood, womanhood, nunhood, I guess. Like a sort of an unwritten group.
I'm going to assume that's Christina Iverson's work.
Well, that's what I wondered, because that is a very unusual word, and
yes.
Maybe that was how they got it to all fit together.
Mm-hmm. There were some other interesting words in that area. Ticket issuer, I was thinking of like Ticketmaster, but it was trooper.
Right, yes.
And 64 across, they'll knock you out, ethers.
Right.
That's something you never hear in the plural. Do they even use that in the singular anymore? Probably not. They probably haven't used it since, I don't know, the 1800s or something.
Oh, no. They
use ether?
They've used it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They've used it since, like in the 1900s, but probably not anymore.
Speaking of 1900s, 37 down, built-in Windows application with a palette logo. Familiarly was MS Paint.
Oh, good old MS
Which
Paint.
I guess I presume it still exists.
It must.
Not being a Windows user, I couldn't say for sure. 37 across, Clementine lookalikes. So all I could think of was, oh, my darling Clementine. And I didn't know where to go with that. But then I had the crosses were giving me Manda. And I thought, it's something to do with Mandalorians. But I thought I knew everything there was to know about Mandalorians. It turned out it was Mandarin oranges.
That's right.
So I take it a clementine, obviously, is a type of orange.
Yes, it is. It's those little oranges in the grocery store. Sometimes they're called cuties.
Right. Mm-hmm. And listeners, Jean was just pinching her fingers relatively close together as she was saying that. So
yes,
just to keep all of you informed. Mm-hmm. Right above that 34 across, it might raise a flap. Letter opener.
Yeah. That was a funny one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And 17 across, disrupt with technology as an existing industry. And, I had it starting with a U because one down, they might be lost, was causes, which was quite good. And then 2 down was a titular elementary school on TV. And I remember Abbott Elementary. Mm-hmm. I don't know where, but I remember it. And so I had UB, and I thought, has this got something to do with Uber? Because they sort of disrupted travel, I guess, or taxi cab service. Mm-hmm. And it was Uberize.
Uberize. I figured you would know that word.
I did not know that word until that moment.
Wow.
And that Z of Uberize ran into 6 down, reason to turn on headlights, haze. Mm-hmm. Seems to me that if it's hazy, and if you turn on the headlights, it might make things worse. Like if it's foggy out, if you turn on your high beams, that doesn't help.
No, that's true.
So I hope the New York Times is not giving bad driving advice to its readers. Mm-hmm. Headline on Monday, a lot of New York Times crossword solvers dead due to collisions in a foggy area of probably, I don't know, West Virginia, just to pick a place at random.
Well, talking about Uberize, then over next to it, a couple rows up, 8 across, make more fun and addictive in a way, and that was gamify.
Yes.
So we had Uberize and gamify. Those are 2 words that I don't ever remember seeing in the New York Times crossword.
Well, if we just consult quickly, we will discover that gamify is new. Uberize is not.
Oh, really?
Uberize has shown up a whopping 2 times on July 12th, 2021, and today.
Oh, okay.
It was in 2021 clued as transform using mobile technology as a market. So there you have it. Let's see. The one across, my bane. One might read select all images with bicycles, CAPTCHA.
Right.
I hate those with a passion.
Oh, me
I don't normally hate things, and I realize that they are there to keep us safe and to keep their website safe.
Exactly.
But it's still a pain.
Right.
Because a lot of times I can never tell.
Yeah, it's like, well, the teeny tiny little corner of the wheel of the bicycle is in the square.
Do I count that or not?
Yeah.
But necessary evil. Although I noticed that nowadays there are more of these puzzles that are slightly entertaining. You have to like slide things, and when they line up, or they'll give you a bunch of images and say which one is different from the rest.
Oh, really?
Pretty soon they're going to be putting up a New York Times crossword. You got to solve the crossword in order to get in.
They could do a mini.
Exactly. Yeah, there we go.
Solve the mini.
Yet another revenue source for the New York Times. They're going to appreciate that. 18 across. I misread that. It's genealogist's tool, and the answer is DNA test.
That's right.
But when I first looked at it, I had the GE and I had the N, and I just sort of kept going and read it as gemologists. And I thought it had something to do with gems. And so I had gem test. Which, of course, if it was the word gemologist, which I don't think exists, they wouldn't probably allow gem test to be the answer.
No.
Did you know 21 across, the Tempest King, Alonzo?
I read that and I'm like, oh, what's his name? And I couldn't think what it was. And then I got I think the N and the O, or maybe just the S and the O, or anyway, I thought, oh, it's Alonzo. Yes.
Alonzo.
Boy, I didn't know it right off the bat, but then I remembered it.
The only Alonzo I know is Alonzo Bowden, the comedian. Or the comic, I guess. But so then we had 10 down. Fast break, ? Meal. Oh,
yes.
That was sublime.
Yes, it was.
And Aidan should take a bow just for that one right there. The one, two removed, 2 to the right. Hankering slangily, fiending.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never heard that word either. One kind of right under that, 32 down. This was another great clue. What slash, it's a slash mark, can mean. And I'm like, well, it can mean like divide, or I was thinking maybe like when they do those, this is to this as this is to that.
Oh.
I was thinking maybe as to.
But they actually had that already. They used that for 11 down. They had a colon.
That's right.
And the answer was is to.
It turned out to be spare.
Yes.
Bowling.
Yep.
Oh.
That S also was the end of 30 across. Only NFL team to win championships while representing 3 different cities.
Right.
Rams.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. The St. Louis Rams?
Were they ever in St. Louis?
I don't know.
They were, yeah. They're the LA Rams now.
Battering Rams?
No, I'm trying to think what other city they were in.
Washington. No. Rams.
Oh,
maybe. I don't know.
I don't either.
Listeners, help us out. Crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. Do you ever remember the Rams being in your city? Let us know. How about New York? New York has a lot of teams.
Well, they do, but I don't. The New York Rams. I don't think so.
No, they've got what? The Jets, the Mets.
The Jets. Well, the Mets are baseball.
Okay. And someone's assured me that Milwaukee has the Brewers and the
Bucks.
And the Bucks. Okay, wait, don't tell me. The Bucks are basketball.
That's correct.
The Brewers are responsible for making beer that's made Milwaukee famous. No, that isn't right. Football?
No.
What?
No.
Hockey?
No.
Sport? Soccer? Soccer?
No.
Okay, the Brewers.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Wait. We just said that baseball.
Baseball.
I'd forgotten about that sport.
The football team is in Green Bay.
Green Bay Packers. Right.
You betcha.
All right. I'm going to have to study
Just up the road.
I'm going to have to study my map of Wisconsin sports teams because it's clear that I need a refresher. 43 across musical, originally released as a French concept album for short, was Les Mis.
That's right.
But I wanted to spell it with a Z rather than
Me too.
Rather than an S.
But no, it is an S.
But
it is Les Miserables.
Right. It needed to be an S because 46 down, good at the game, operation perhaps, steady. That was sort of funny.
Yes.
I was having some trouble in that area. The search through a trove of digital information. I wanted it to be Google at one point. I didn't know 45 down, segment of a game of horseshoes. It was inning. I had the I and the N, and I'm like, I don't know. And I thought, what's that? And I looked and thought, well, it looks like inning. So. Yeah,
that's what I did too. I wasn't sure, but I had enough letters. I thought, well, I'll try inning, see if that works.
It's curious. I wonder, what other sports have periods or segments and that overlap, like inning with horseshoes and baseball. Of course, baseball's got a little bit more name recognition.
Well, I mean, like football and basketball both have quarters.
That's true. Let's see. The hockey has got periods.
Yeah.
Does any other sport have a period? Maybe a few of them have commas. Ha ha.
I don't know.
Especially if they're boring their fans. Let's see. 15 across. That was babies snap out of them. And it was 7 letters long, and I thought diapers.
Oh.
But turned out to be onesies.
Right.
I guess you'd probably Velcro out of a diaper.
Yeah. Mostly, don't they still just have like tape?
Right. Okay, not Velcro, tape.
Yeah. Those would be expensive onesie.
Expensive diapers.
Or diapers, yeah.
26 across. I had no idea it was things on a golf bag. And I'm like, I don't know what's in a golf bag, like sporting endorsements or something like that. And then I thought tees, maybe they attach the tees.
There's like a bag that they put tees in, like a tea bag, but
right.
It's spelled T-E-E bag.
Did you try that?
I tried that,
but it says
work.
Things.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Is plural.
It didn't fit.
Right. The answer was straps.
Straps, of course.
Of course, if you've ever seen a golf bag, which I don't know if I have, or if I have, I just assumed it was sort of like magically hovering on the person's back without any straps to make that possible.
Right.
3 down, I found mysterious. Go for was prefer.
Yes.
I mean, I know what it means to prefer something, but to go for suggests like you're moving in that direction somehow.
Not necessarily. Like you could go for a person. Like I go for you.
I prefer you.
I
guess it just, I don't know, for some reason didn't quite jive for me, but. All right. Well, I think that is it for today's crossword. A fine debut by Aidan Deshong, and good luck at Harvey Mudd, college, university, tech school, whatever it happens to be. We can tell from this crossword you're going to do great.
That's right.
And we hope this won't be your only crossword. Now, it is Friday, which means it's time for Fun Fact Friday. I'm really hoping you have a fact for Fun Fact Friday.
I do. Just a few little facts here.
We'll take some factoids.
Okay, well, Sunday had an answer of bionic arm.
Yes.
So that reminded me of a TV show, or I should say shows, in the 1970s about people with bionic arms.
Right.
Do you remember those TV shows?
The Bionic Man, the Bionic Woman, the Bionic Dog.
No. The Bionic Woman was a show.
Okay.
The Bionic Man, the name of the show was The $6 Million Man.
Of course, in today's, that's barely the cost of a new car these days.
I can actually tell you, $41 million man today.
That still seems low.
But anyway, The $6 Million Man was an American science fiction and action television series running from 1973 to 78 about a former astronaut, USAF colonel. Do you remember his name?
John Glenn?
Nope.
Neil Armstrong.
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin.
Portrayed by Lee Majors.
Yes.
After a NASA test flight accident, Austin is rebuilt with bionic implants that give him superhuman strength, vision, and speed. Austin is then employed as a secret agent by a fictional U.S. government office titled OSI. The series was based on Martin Culden's 1972 novel Cyborg.
Martin Cadence.
Or Cadence, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yes, which was the working title of the series during pre-production.
Wait, what was the name of the series?
The Cyborg.
Or the book?
The Cyborg.
It was called The Cyborg. Okay.
Yes. So anyway, that was The $6 Million Man. And it actually started as a made-for-TV movie called The $6 Million Man. And then that turned into a television show. The show was very popular during its run and introduced several pop culture elements of the 1970s, such as the show's opening catchphrase. Do you remember what it was?
Why do you keep hoping I'm going to remember it? I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
The catchphrase was, "We can rebuild him. We have the technology."
Right.
Do you remember that now?
No.
No. Anyway.
But it sounds good. I'd watch it.
So, and also the slow motion action sequences were referred to as kung fu slow motion in popular culture due to its use in the 1970s martial arts television series Kung Fu. Although according to the Bionic book by Herbie J. Pilato, the use of slow motion on the series was inspired by its use by NFL films in football.
Okay.
So anyway, but I thought that was interesting. And I remember in the show, whenever he would use any of his bionic powers, he immediately went into slow motion. Do you remember how, it's like, oh, he's got to jump over this wall. And all of a sudden he starts running really slowly and then he jumps over the wall.
Just to show off just how those bionic parts can help him without even momentum.
Even with his eye, it's like, oh, he's got to look at something 2 miles away and he slowly turns his head and then his eye, then they focused on his eye.
Like an eye would pop out, like a lens would pop out of his eye?
No, it wouldn't pop out, but they would show his eye, and then they would show what he could see like miles away. Okay. So one other interesting thing, well, actually, there are a lot of interesting things about
we
this.
We better pick and choose here.
But afterwards, after the show made its run, of course, it inspired another television show called The Bionic Woman.
Right.
And so that, too, was a very popular television show starring Lindsay Wagner. But then, I've lost my notes here. But then, here it is. After they ran the TV shows, they brought the two actors, Steve Austin and Jamie Summers, back for 3 made-for-television movies. The first one was called The Return of the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. And then Bionic Showdown, the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman. And then the last one was Bionic Ever After, where the two characters finally get married. So
wow.
It's the bionic couple.
Just touching.
I know. But anyway, so a few fun facts about the bionic arm of the $6 Million Man.
All right. Well, we'll look for the sequel or the remake, I guess.
Oh, and of course, the bionic strength came from nuclear energy. In case you wondered how they got it to be.
That
so
surgery
fun.
must have been pretty expensive if they had to put in a small nuclear reactor.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Although one of those RTGs doesn't weigh that much, I guess. All right. Well, listen, thank you for that fun fact. And that is it for today. So thanks everyone for listening. We will be back again with our cutting edge analysis of tomorrow, aka Saturday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.